Yo guys, what's up? I just wanted to do another video, really just picking up from where we left off on the last one, which talked about kind of longer term time frames and a move down on Bitcoin, which seems to be kind of playing out at the moment. So this kind of the reason I'm doing this is because there's multiple fibs which all land in the more or less exactly the same area. So I felt it was important, and it's kind of right in the middle of the 80k region, 84, 85, 86 area. So the first one, we'll start on the higher term time frames and the longer kind of look. So you've got a Fibonacci extension from the lows back in 2022 to this first high we got, which was kind of early 2024, and then to that low wick here, which was around about 48, 49k, and you'll see that the 618 here sitting at 85k, just under. So just pop a wee line in there. And then you have, zooming in a bit further, you've got a retrace fib, so a simple retrace, and that's going to run from the same point basically up to this high and then back down, and you'll see here the 382, which is your kind of bullish fib if you like, that is sitting at 85.5, so that's important. And then we've got zoomed in here, one I was just working on this morning and took some trades from, which is an inverse extension. So it's some downside targets based on these two moves here, this first low down here from the high and to that recent one, and you can see now the 786, it seems to be price following these fibs here. You got the 786 move this morning and a wee wick up. So, and then the important part, and why I'm really doing it, is this one-to-one. Now this one-to-one is what I showed on the other video there, and you can see that when you get multiple kind of fibs all landing on this basically identical area, then it's going to potentially be either the bottom or an area for a major bounce. So yeah, that's why we're doing that. Interestingly, ETH has similarly a very kind of a lot of confluence in one particular area. Now that's, you can see here a retrace from the November low, the Trumpy pump, to the top. The 786 retrace is 2.7, and then the same inverse fib which I've just run for Bitcoin, you can see the one-to-one is at 2.7. So we're looking for about 2.7, and structurally that really makes sense here. You've got right across the top here these 1, 2, 3, 4, well actually 5 kind of wicks into this area before it broke up. So we're going to be looking at what was resistance turning into support here, so around 2.7 area for ETH. Just watching this play out over the next wee while. On the index, just looking at, I've run the same fibs here and they're all more or less the same, but in terms of plays here, what I've been watching is expansion on volatility on the 4 hour, still underway here, so I don't think we're necessarily done with this correction even on the short term, the 4 hour. What I've done just now is run a retrace from this last leg down basically to see where resistance comes in. We're currently being rejected off this 236, and so I wouldn't be surprised if we even got a leg up to this previous kind of what looked like support over the weekend. That would be fine, a wick into there, for a rejection at 94.5 basically before the next leg down. So watching this bounce we're in now, where that's going to get rejected. To be fair, it could go all the way up here, and it's not until it really makes another high here that you can think, okay, this was the bottom, and so we've got to just watch this unfold. Currently we're just being rejected right here, and that's pretty bearish, to be honest. The fact that it's been knocked back already, I would want this to go a bit higher, up to the 382 would be ideal. But yeah, it could even wick into this green moving average here, which is more or less around about the 0.5 at the moment, and then give us the next leg down. So we're just paying attention this week. I'd like this to be over and done with sooner rather than later, so we can get back on with things again, because I feel like we're just getting an incredible sale on a lot of really strong projects. Obviously you've got virtuals and stuff. My target for virtuals is just down here, for a buy, which is just basically $2, just under, and that's based on this 1-2 attacks into that area. You got a test here now. Another test here would be fine. it's difficult to draw a retrace here because you've got so many different kind of areas you could go, but this accumulation here is probably not a bad area, you know, to run a retrace off. And what's it sitting at? Actually, you know, interestingly, this price moved more or less right to the 618, not quite the 618, but I didn't draw that super accurate, and there's various little lows you can use here as an anchor. So, you know, you could argue that's the test of the 618 today. And interestingly, the 786 is below this, but you know, for me, the structure on these alts is more important, and so I'd be looking to at least start buying here, and then yeah, I'd even pick up another buy on 136 here. It's a big move from there to there, but nevertheless, you can see we're down a lot in virtual. It's a strong project. Hype is another one I'm paying attention to. More obvious, I would suggest, because it's a newer chart, is this leg here up to the top. Just that, forgetting this crazy wick here, and just looking down here. Structurally looks nice for a buy. So 17 roughly. I think I shelled that in the last chart I was making. Anyway, my big kind of alt plays, if anyone's interested, are, you know, Fias and Devi, which are both really strong. They've stayed incredibly strong in the face of this pullback, and some big news coming on them. So keep an eye on Fias, keep an eye on Devi, because they're super strong in the face of this correction. Okay. Anyway, take it easy.